Nigerian football fans and football fans everywhere. You're welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about Nigerian striker Rafiu Durosinmi, who currently plays for Viktoria Plzen and has been linked to a move to the English Premier League and Wolverhampton Wanderers, to be, precise. And apparently earlier on, because in January last season, he was linked to a move to Wolves. They had serious interest in him, and apparently they are ready to reignite and revisit the interest they have in him and looking to bring him to the Premier League. Now, someone say, is he Premier League ready? Yes, I think he is Premier League ready, 110% for sure. And what would he bring? I think he brings that pace, he brings that ability to run into channels, and he brings that ability to create goals, not just for himself, but for his teammates as well. And he's one of those hope and pray, not hope and pray, but one of those players that can hoof the ball up to and just know he'll be making those runs. So I think it'll be good for his career to move to the Premier League, and he gets to show the Premier League what Nigerian strikers are all about, for one, and as well get to improve his stock, in the eyes of Hee-Chan, the head coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles, and as well as the Nigerian Football, Federation. So looking forward to seeing him make this move. Hopefully he gets to join them, and if and when he does, I'll be doing a reaction video on here, on this channel, so you can see what it's all about. And for those of you who don't know his game, will get to be more acquainted with his game, and then know what you can expect in the Premier League. And then, but it was a bit sad. I think it was a couple of seasons ago or slightly less, he was linked to a move to Frankfurt, in the German Bundesliga. He was linked to a move there, and then his medical didn't quite come true, so that's why the move fell through. And because I think that would have been a very good fit for him, because that's a club where he'll be allowed to play. They usually play to the strength of their strikers, and somehow, some way, they always get their strikers high valuations that see them make moves to even bigger clubs. You had Heller that moved for, was it 50 or 60 million, from Frankfurt to West Ham, and then you had Omar Mamouche made a big move. I think was it 65 or was it 70 from Frankfurt to Manchester City, and now you have Hugo Ekitike as well, that has an evaluation of about 84 million pounds. And even if any club is able to negotiate a transfer deal for him, that means probably even if it comes down, drops on the bid, probably becomes like 75, 70 or 60, 68, 69 odd million pounds, which is a lot of money for a striker. And I would even see that striker stock rise even higher. So but still good, I think, heading to Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League directly would be good. But then the question that you'd have to ask is, does that mean Wolves will be looking to go to a two-man attack? Because right now you've got Larsen right there, although Cunha is left. So would they be going with a two-man attack? One thing I don't want to see is, I don't want to see him, sort of used as a kind of 10 or winger or wide player, because that would just kill everything he has. He can run the channels, but he's not a winger. That's part of what makes him special as a number 9. So that's the question. Are you going to play with two strikers up top, or does he now become the number 1 striker, and then Larsen becomes the second striker coming off the bench? Let's see how that shakes out. But let me know what your thoughts and opinions are about this supposed move to Wolves, and what you think it may mean for his career with the Super Eagles and in general. And let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and click the notification bell to notify when a video comes up on this channel, whether it's live streamed or pre-recorded, such as this one. And for me, I want to say this: I hope this really boosts his profile and his stock in the eyes of the Nigerian Football Federation, and indeed Hee-Chan, because I think he was one of the players that I looked at and said, wow, you should have been in the Unity Cup. I know some people say, you probably said that about a lot of players. Yes, I have. Yes, I did. But when you look at the people that actually took the spot of certain players, Hee-Chan, the Ahmed Musas and the likes, when you look at certain players that took up spots that got spots in that team, just makes you wonder and ask yourself, why would you go for those players when you have players like Jorgen Kenna, players like Kila Gundono, players like the one we're talking about now, Rafiu Durosinmi. So I just hope this move works out properly. Everything is agreed. Medical, it passes medical completely, because he is that good. He is a very, very good striker, and he can only grow in the Premier League. Because one thing we don't know is some people don't get is, yes, Victor Osimhen is the number one striker, 100%. He's the biggest. He's a superstar. He is the guy, spiritual leader of the team, and on and off the pitch. So he's the main man. No one is arguing about that. But Victor Boniface hasn't really hit the heights for the Super Eagles. Cyril Dessers has had some decent moments here and there, like in the Unity Cup, but he hasn't really, held that spot on lockdown. Tola Rokodare, yes, he got the goal in that international friendly, but still, you can't quite say he's held this. He has full command of that second striker spot in Nigerian Super Eagles, so it's all up for grabs. So you have to keep looking at different options, and I think Rafiu Durosinmi going to the Premier League would give him an opportunity to be in the eyes of the NFF and Eric Chill. I know, sadly, a lot of selectors who say it's their job to do it 247 don't really watch leagues outside of the Premier League and the Spanish La Liga. Some I don't even, maybe Bundesliga, if even that. So, and some don't even watch the French league. So I'm thinking a move to the Premier League would do him a world of good. So let me know your opinions in the comment section, and I'll see you on yet another video. So stay well and stay blessed. Bye bye.